Opening scene, dark music, slow pan over snowy Edo Castle gates. Cut to text overlay, the 47 Ronin's forgotten villain. The story of the 47 Ronin is one of Japan's most famous legends. It's retold in books, plays, movies, even Hollywood blockbusters. Samurai avenging their lord's death in the dead of night. Honor, loyalty, and vengeance etched into Japanese memory. But there's one figure who's always cast as the villain. Kira Yoshinaka, the arrogant court official whose insults pushed Lord Asano to draw his sword. Was Kira really a monster? Or was he just a man caught in the crossfire of court politics? Today, we're diving into the forgotten story of the villain of the 47 Ronin. Scene 1. Setting the stage. It all began in 1701. Tokugawa Japan was at peace, but politics inside Edo Castle were anything but calm. Lord Asano Naganori, a daimyo from western Japan, was assigned to help receive an imperial envoy. But in Edo's strict court etiquette, every move was governed by ritual, and the man in charge of teaching these rituals was Kira Yoshinaka. Kira wasn't a daimyo. He was a koke, essentially a master of ceremonies. His job? Make sure lords like Asano performed their duties flawlessly in front of the shogun. Sounds harmless, right? But in a world built on hierarchy, status, and favors, Kira's position was both powerful and dangerous. Scene 2. The infamous insult. According to legend, Kira expected bribes or lavish gifts from the lords he instructed. Asano, either too proud or too honest, refused. The result? Tension boiled. Some stories claim Kira ridiculed Asano, insulting his provincial origins, mocking him in front of others. On April 21st, 1701, inside Edo Castle itself, Asano snapped. He drew his short sword and slashed at Kira, wounding but not killing him. This act was unforgivable. To shed blood inside the shogun's castle was treason. Asano was ordered to commit seppuku that very same day. His family lost their domain. And just like that, 47 of his loyal samurai became Ronin. The stage was set for the most famous vendetta in Japanese history. Scene 3. Kira the villain. In the popular imagination, Kira Yoshinaka became the perfect villain. A greedy, arrogant bureaucrat who provoked an honorable samurai to violence. When the 47 Rōnin stormed his mansion 2 years later, killed him, and laid his head on Asano's grave, the story seemed complete. Evil punished, loyalty rewarded, justice served. But was it that simple? Scene 4. The other side of the story. Not all records agree that Kira was corrupt. Some suggest he was simply doing his job enforcing strict etiquette on lords who resented being treated like students. Think about it. Why would a proud daimyo like Asano want to take orders from a lower-ranking official? Kira may have been disliked not because he was corrupt, but because his position put him at odds with powerful men. Historians point out that Kira's family was well respected. His descendants even served the Tokugawa shogunate faithfully for generations. Not exactly the legacy of a cartoon villain. So why was he vilified? Scene 5. Politics, propaganda, and theater. After the incident, the story of the 47 Rōnin exploded in popularity. Kabuki plays, puppet theater, and ballads turned Kira into a stock villain. Greedy, cowardly, and cruel. But remember, these plays weren't documentaries. They were morality tales. The 47 Rōnin symbolized loyalty and sacrifice. To make their heroism shine, the story needed a clear villain. Kira Yoshinaka was the perfect choice, and once theater painted him black, history followed suit. Scene 6. The bureaucrat behind the myth. So who was the real Kira Yoshinaka? Most likely he was neither saint nor devil. He was a mid-level court official, navigating a dangerous political world. A man whose strictness and sharp tongue may have made him enemies, but whose evil reputation owes more to legend than to fact. In other words, he was human. Scene 7. Legacy. Today, thousands of visitors pay respects at the graves of the 47 Ronin at Sengakuji Temple in Tokyo. Kira's tomb, by contrast, sits quietly in Ueno, visited only by a handful of curious travelers. The heroes are remembered. The villain is forgotten, but perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. Closing scene. The tale of the 47 Rōnin reminds us that history is never just black and white. Even the so-called villains of legend had their reasons, their struggles, their humanity. So the next time you hear the story of the 47 Rōnin, remember, Kira Yoshinaka may not have been the villain we think. Sometimes history's greatest monsters are really just men caught in the wrong story. If you liked this story, like and subscribe to see more.